The stock market is a complex ecosystem with investors and traders constantly making and losing money. We'll go over the basics of how the market works so that you can get started investing in it with confidence. Nerd Stock Talk is delighted to present to you this fun and informative series entitled From Azeroth to Wall Street, Mastering the Stock Market Like the Class of Your Choice. We are going to compare how well a class performs in DPS and parallel it to how strong a portfolio is and its investment risk. Low risk, low DPS. High risk, high DPS. High DPS without mitigation and utility can also get you killed. All high-risk investments without education and balancing can get you broke. The Feral Druid is a mobile DPS spec with a damage profile oriented around finishers and maintaining bleeds. The spec identifies as a shapeshifter, and there are a multitude of collectible forms for this spec accessible through the barbershop. Anyone who's played Feral Druid over the last decade will remain broadly familiar with how it's played, the spec, maintaining bleeds, and filling other finishers with ferocious bite. Feral Druids are quite flexible in their DPS capabilities, as they can bring good burst damage, sustained damage, and mobility. They also have good survivability and the use of their cat form's innate abilities, like stealth. So how can you invest like a Feral Druid? The strengths of a Feral Druid include burst damage, good mobility, and they are melee DPS. Burst damage. Feral Druids also have a good burst option, which means that they can put out large amounts of damage to finish off a target before it has time to react. This is tied to their maintenance of combo points by maintaining dots, helps to orient their burst damages with finishers while maintaining bleeds. The high burst damage is the investment equivalent of high-risk investments. Much like burst damage, where you can do high amounts of DPS in a short time, the benefits of high-risk investments are that investors can earn huge returns in a very short period of time. But the fluctuation of high-risk investments are very volatile and unpredictable in nature as compared to other investment instruments. This is the same as the unpredictability of pulling aggro from a tank. Good mobility. Feral Druids also have a decent crowd control abilities, and that makes them versatile in many situations. Also, because of their bleed uptimes and other resource management, this allows Feral Druids to not focus too much on being stationary. This gives Feral Druids a more active playstyle, and is also more exciting and dynamic. Their high mobility playstyle makes it easier for them to stay out of harm's way in dungeon or in raid settings. Good mobility is the investment equivalent of investing in ETFs. ETFs provide diversification. One ETF can give exposure to a group of equities, market segments, or styles. ETFs trade like a stock. ETFs trade at a price that is updated throughout the day. An open-ended mutual fund, on the other hand, is priced at the end of the day at its net asset value. ETFs also trade like a stock. An open-ended mutual fund, on the other hand, is priced at the end of the day at its net asset value. ETFs also allow you to manage risk by trading futures and options just like a stock. Because ETFs trade like a stock, you can quickly look up the approximate daily price change using its ticker symbol and compare it to its index sector or commodity. Many stock websites also have better interfaces for manipulating charts than commodity websites, and even provide applications on your mobile devices, much like the Robinhood app. Melee DPS. Feral Druids are the master of melee DPS. They have the ability to deal damage up close and can use claws and teeth to tear through enemies. Being a melee DPS puts you right up close to the action. Melee DPS are most effective when positioned behind a boss or an ad. to avoid having to dodge attacks. Because melee is right next to the action, this is the investment equivalent of doing self-directed investing. The pros of self-directed investing are you control the fund and money, you decide which investments to make, you can invest in things that you're passionate about, you can invest in companies you want to support, and you can invest in things that you know a lot about. But much like up-close DPS and standing in the enemy's hitbox, the cons of self-investing mean that you take on all the risk. If something goes wrong with an investment, it's all on you. There's no one else to blame if things go south. Conclusion. Feral Druids are damage dealers and can deal high sustained damage or short burst damage. Our primary role is a melee DPS, although we have an off-tank role as well. A Feral Druid in cat form has no mana. Instead, we use energy that regenerates passively. We have several other forms such as bear form, aquatic form, and travel form. All of these forms serve specific purposes. So how do you invest like a Feral Druid? Feral Druids are a melee DPS who have good mobility and burst damage. This would mean that you would find good high-risk stocks paired with a diverse collection of ETFs to offset the risk. But much like melee, finding good ones would entail doing homework so you avoid getting one-shotted or get caught standing in the fire. Thank you for watching. If you want to learn more, check out Nerdstock Talk at storycomic.com. There you can find even more resources and information to help you learn the basics of investing through the lens of your favorite class or archetype. Don't forget to subscribe to my channel and hit the notification bell to be notified when I post new videos.